Welcome to Book Blink. Today we're diving into Think Straight by Darius Foroux. Get ready for a quick, insightful summary packed with key ideas to help you clear mental clutter, boost focus, and make better decisions. Let's jump in. Part 1. The Chaos of Overthinking. Have you ever found yourself trapped in an endless loop of thoughts? You think about what happened yesterday, stress over what might go wrong tomorrow, and before you know it, you're mentally drained without making any real progress in life. This is where Darius Foroux begins his book, Think Straight. Overthinking is the silent thief that steals our peace and productivity, yet many of us are unaware of its grip on our lives. Foroux shares a personal story, a time when he felt stuck, unable to move forward. His days were consumed by indecision, his nights by regret. Like many of us, he was caught in a web of mental clutter. Life felt heavy, and his dreams seemed out of reach. It wasn't laziness or a lack of talent holding him back. It was his own mind. In the opening chapters, Foroux introduces a compelling idea. Our lives are a reflection of our thoughts. If your thinking is scattered, your life will feel chaotic. If your thoughts are purposeful, your actions will align, leading to a life of clarity and achievement. The problem, he explains, is that we're often unaware of just how much our mental clutter controls us. We're so used to the noise in our heads that it feels normal. But normal doesn't mean healthy. So, what's the solution? Foroux argues that thinking straight is the key. Thinking straight means simplifying your thoughts, focusing on what truly matters, and letting go of everything that doesn't serve you. It's not about being perfect or always making the right decisions. It's about being intentional with your mind. He challenges us to ask one simple yet profound question: what do I want? This isn't just about material goals like money or success. It's about understanding what truly matters to you at a deeper level. Foroux believes that clarity begins with self-awareness. When you know what you want, you can filter out distractions and focus on the things that will actually bring you closer to your goals. The book also touches on the psychological traps that keep us stuck. For example, we often equate overthinking with being thorough or careful. But in reality, overthinking leads to paralysis. It's like running on a treadmill. You expend energy but go nowhere. Foroux reminds us that action, not thought, is what leads to results. In this part of the book, Foroux doesn't just point out the problem. He begins to guide us towards solutions. He emphasizes the importance of mindfulness, encouraging readers to become more aware of their thought patterns. Are your thoughts serving you or are they holding you back? This question is the foundation of thinking straight. As the first step to clarity, Foroux advises us to declutter our minds. Just as you clean your house to create a peaceful environment, you need to clean your mind to create space for productive thinking. This involves identifying and letting go of unnecessary worries, doubts, and fears. He argues that most of what we obsess over doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things. Foroux's approach is both practical and empowering. He doesn't promise a quick fix or a magical solution. Instead, he encourages readers to take small, consistent steps to regain control of their minds. By the end of this section, you'll realize that clarity isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you cultivate through intentional effort. Part 2. Simplify to amplify. In the previous section, Darius Foroux introduced us to the chaos of overthinking and the liberating power of clarity. Now he dives deeper into the how. How do you actually simplify your thoughts and focus on what matters most? The first step, Foroux explains, is to declutter your mental space. Just like a messy room can make you feel overwhelmed, a cluttered mind keeps you from thinking straight. But this isn't just about emptying your mind of thoughts, it's about organizing them. Imagine your mind as a tool. If it's well-maintained and sharp, it can create wonders. If it's dull and scattered, it becomes a liability. Foroux emphasizes the importance of identifying what truly matters in your life. He invites readers to reflect on their core values and priorities. Here's the hard truth. Most of the things we worry about are either out of our control or irrelevant to our goals. He shares an eye-opening exercise. Write down everything that's occupying your mind and ask yourself, does this matter in the long run? This simple practice can help you separate the essential from the trivial. He introduces the idea of mental minimalism. Just like the minimalist lifestyle focuses on owning fewer things, mental minimalism is about thinking fewer, more impactful thoughts. Foroux argues that the quality of your thinking is far more important than the quantity. He compares it to a chef preparing a meal. Adding too many ingredients can ruin the dish. Similarly, cluttering your mind with unnecessary thoughts can dilute your focus and productivity. To achieve mental minimalism, Foroux suggests limiting the sources of mental input. In today's world, we're bombarded with information, news, social media, notifications, endless choices. All this noise can overwhelm your mind, making it difficult to think straight. He encourages readers to be selective about what they consume. Instead of trying to keep up with everything, focus on the information that truly adds value to your life. Another key strategy is mastering the art of saying no. Foroux reminds us that every yes we say to someone else is a no to ourselves. If you want to simplify your life, you need to set boundaries and protect your mental energy. This isn't about being selfish, it's about recognizing that your time and focus are finite resources. By saying no to the things that don't align with your priorities, you create space for what truly matters. The book also delves into the role of habits in simplifying your mind. Foroux believes that your habits are the foundation of your mental clarity. He encourages readers to develop daily routines that support clear thinking, such as regular exercise, mindfulness practices, and journaling. These habits not only reduce mental clutter but also build a strong foundation for long-term clarity. Foroux highlights one powerful habit in particular: decision-making. He argues that decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion caused by making too many choices, is a major obstacle to thinking straight. To combat this, he suggests simplifying your decisions by creating systems and routines. For example, instead of agonizing over what to wear every day, establish a go-to wardrobe. Instead of debating what to eat, plan your meals in advance. By automating the small decisions in your life, you free up mental energy for the big ones. The section concludes with a profound takeaway. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. By decluttering your mind, limiting distractions, and focusing on what truly matters, you can amplify your mental clarity and achieve more with less effort. Art 3. The Power of Focus. Now that Darius Foroux has walked us through the importance of decluttering our minds and simplifying our thoughts, he introduces the cornerstone of clear thinking: focus. Foroux explains that focus is not just a skill, it's a discipline. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, staying focused is more challenging than ever, yet it's the key to achieving extraordinary results. Foroux begins by debunking the myth of multitasking. Many of us believe that juggling multiple tasks at once makes us more efficient, but in reality, multitasking splits our attention and reduces the quality of our work. He shares research showing that the human brain is designed to focus on one thing at a time. When you try to do two things simultaneously, you're not working faster. You're just switching between tasks, which drains your mental energy. So, how can you sharpen your focus? Foroux introduces the concept of deep work. This is the ability to concentrate without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. Deep work is where the magic happens. It's when you produce your best ideas, solve complex problems, and create meaningful work. But achieving this level of focus requires intentional effort. One of the first steps is identifying your most important tasks, the things that truly move the needle in your life. Foroux emphasizes the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. By focusing on the vital few tasks that have the greatest impact, you can achieve more in less time. He advises readers to ask themselves, what's the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? To maintain focus, Foroux highlights the importance of eliminating distractions. He encourages readers to create a work environment that supports concentration. This might mean turning off notifications, setting boundaries with colleagues or family members, or even working during times of the day when you're naturally more alert. Foroux also touches on the role of technology in stealing our attention. While tools like smartphones and social media can be useful, they're also major sources of distraction. He suggests using technology intentionally rather than letting it control you. For example, instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, set specific times for checking your accounts. Another powerful strategy Foroux shares is time blocking. This involves scheduling specific blocks of time for focused work on a single task. By dedicating uninterrupted time to your most important priorities, you can achieve a state of flow, a mental state where you're fully immersed in your work and performing at your best. 4 also emphasizes the importance of rest and recovery in maintaining focus. Contrary to popular belief, working longer hours doesn't always lead to better results. In fact, overworking can lead to burnout and decreased productivity. He encourages readers to take regular breaks, prioritize sleep, and incorporate relaxation into their daily routines. When your mind is well rested, it's much easier to stay focused and think clearly. A particularly insightful point in this section is Foroux's advice on dealing with mental distractions. He acknowledges that even when we eliminate external distractions, our own minds can wander. To combat this, he suggests practicing mindfulness, training yourself to bring your attention back to the present moment whenever it drifts. This simple habit can greatly improve your ability to concentrate over time. Foroux wraps up this section with a reminder: focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. By committing to the practices of deep work, eliminating distractions, and taking care of your mental well-being, you can cultivate a laser-sharp focus that sets you apart in any area of life. Part 4. Mastering Emotional Clarity. As Darius Foroux dives deeper into the principles of thinking straight, he explores an often overlooked aspect of mental clarity: our emotions. Thoughts and emotions are deeply intertwined, and Foroux explains that mastering your emotions is essential to maintaining clear, focused thinking. He begins with a fundamental truth: emotions are not the enemy. They're a natural part of being human, and they play a crucial role in decision-making and relationships. However, when emotions spiral out of control, like anger, fear, or anxiety, they cloud your judgment and lead to impulsive decisions. Foroux stresses the importance of managing your emotions rather than letting them control you. One powerful strategy he shares is practicing emotional detachment. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or becoming indifferent. Instead, it's about observing your emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Foroux compares this to watching clouds pass in the sky. Just as you wouldn't try to grab onto a cloud, you shouldn't cling to every emotion that arises. Let it come, acknowledge it, and let it go. He introduces a practical exercise for building emotional clarity. When you feel a strong emotion, pause and name it. For example, if you're feeling anxious, simply say to yourself, "I'm feeling anxious right now." This small act of labeling creates a sense of distance between you and the emotion, allowing you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Foroux also addresses the role of negative self-talk, the inner critic that constantly doubts and criticizes you. This internal dialogue often fuels unnecessary worries and self-doubt, making it harder to think straight. To combat this, Foroux encourages readers to replace negative self-talk with empowering affirmations. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I can handle this challenge." Over time, these small shifts in language can transform the way you think and feel about yourself. A key takeaway from this section is the idea of focusing on what you can control. Foroux explains that many of our emotional struggles stem from worrying about things outside our control, such as other people's opinions, the past, or the future. By shifting your focus to the things you can influence, your actions, your attitude, and your effort, you can reduce unnecessary stress and regain mental clarity. Foroux also touches on the importance of gratitude in managing emotions. He shares how adopting a gratitude mindset can shift your focus from what's going wrong to what's going right. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about training your mind to notice and appreciate the positives in your life, no matter how small they may seem. Gratitude, he argues, is a powerful antidote to negative emotions like envy, frustration, and despair. Another valuable insight is the concept of emotional resilience. Foroux reminds readers that setbacks and failures are a natural part of life. What matters is how you respond to them. He shares strategies for bouncing back from emotional lows, such as reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, seeking support from trusted friends or mentors, and focusing on the lessons you can learn from difficult experiences. The section ends with a simple yet profound message. Clarity isn't just about what you think, it's also about how you feel. By cultivating emotional clarity, you create a strong foundation for clear, focused, and purposeful thinking. Part 5. The Habit of Thinking Straight. After exploring mental clarity, focus, and emotional mastery, Darius Foroux shifts to a powerful idea. Thinking straight is not a one-time achievement. It's a habit. Like any habit, it requires consistent effort and practice. Foroux emphasizes that the way you think shapes the way you live, and by building the habit of thinking straight, you can transform your life in profound ways. He begins by introducing the concept of self-awareness. Foroux believes that self-awareness is the cornerstone of clear thinking. It's about understanding your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and recognizing how they influence your actions. Without self-awareness, it's easy to fall into patterns of overthinking, procrastination, and negativity. To cultivate self-awareness, Foroux encourages readers to ask themselves reflective questions, such as, what am I thinking right now? Why am I feeling this way? Does this thought serve me or hold me back? By regularly pausing to reflect on your mental state, you can identify unhelpful thought patterns and replace them with more constructive ones. Foroux also emphasizes the importance of consistent action. He explains that clarity and focus are meaningless without action. Many people get stuck in a cycle of overthinking and hesitation, waiting for the perfect moment to act. But Foroux argues that action creates clarity. Even if you're unsure about the next step, taking action, no matter how small, can help you gain momentum and uncover new insights. He introduces a powerful mindset shift: focus on progress, not perfection. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination because we're afraid of making mistakes or falling short of our expectations. But Foroux reminds readers that mistakes are part of the learning process. Instead of striving for perfection, aim to improve by 1% every day. These small, consistent improvements compound over time, leading to significant growth. Another key habit Foroux discusses is prioritizing your energy. Time is a limited resource, but energy is what determines how effectively you use that time. He advises readers to pay attention to their energy levels and align their tasks with their natural rhythms. For example, if you're most alert in the morning, use that time for deep, focused work. Reserve less demanding tasks like answering emails for periods when your energy dips. Foroux also highlights the importance of setting boundaries to protect your mental energy. This includes saying no to unnecessary commitments, taking regular breaks, and creating a healthy work-life balance. He reminds readers that rest is not a luxury. It's a necessity for sustaining peak performance and mental clarity. A unique aspect of this section is Foroux's focus on the role of environment in shaping your habits. He explains that your surroundings have a powerful influence on your thoughts and behaviors. If your environment is cluttered or chaotic, it can be difficult to think straight. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring space can boost your focus and productivity. Foroux encourages readers to design their environment in a way that supports their goals and minimizes distractions. He also emphasizes the value of continuous learning. Foroux believes that lifelong learning is essential for thinking straight because it keeps your mind sharp and adaptable. He suggests reading books, listening to podcasts, and seeking out new experiences as ways to expand your perspective and stay mentally agile. The section concludes with a powerful reminder. Thinking straight is not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about consistently striving to improve, learning from your experiences and aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your values and goals. By making clear thinking a daily habit, you can unlock your full potential and live a more purposeful life. Part 6. Overcoming Mental Barriers. Darius Foroux now shifts his focus to the invisible walls that block us from thinking straight. Mental barriers. These barriers come in many forms, such as self-doubt, fear of failure, overthinking, and negative beliefs. Foroux's message here is empowering. These barriers are not permanent. With the right strategies, you can break through them and reclaim control over your mind. He starts by addressing one of the most common mental barriers: fear of failure. Fear often paralyzes us, preventing us from taking risks or pursuing our goals. Foroux explains that failure is not the end. It's a stepping stone to growth. He urges readers to reframe failure as feedback, a way to learn what doesn't work and refine their approach. Every successful person has faced failure, he reminds us, but they've also used it as fuel to keep moving forward. Another significant barrier is overthinking. Foroux describes overthinking as a mental trap, where you endlessly analyze every possibility without taking action. This habit not only wastes time, but also drains your energy and increases anxiety. To overcome overthinking, Foroux suggests practicing the act-decide method. When faced with a decision, gather enough information to make an informed choice, then act without second-guessing. Trust yourself and remember that you can always adjust your course if needed. Foroux also highlights the role of self-doubt in clouding our thoughts. Many of us carry limiting beliefs about our abilities, often shaped by past experiences or negative feedback. These beliefs hold us back, convincing us that we're not capable or worthy of success. To combat self-doubt, Foroux encourages readers to challenge these beliefs by taking small, consistent actions that build confidence. Each time you prove to yourself that you can handle a challenge, you weaken the grip of self-doubt. Another profound insight is Foroux's discussion on comparison. He warns against the trap of comparing yourself to others, especially in today's social media-driven world. Constantly measuring your progress against others' highlights reels can lead to feelings of inadequacy and envy. Foroux advises shifting your focus inward. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Celebrate your own growth, no matter how small, and remember that everyone's journey is unique. Foroux also touches on the importance of letting go. Many of us carry mental baggage, grudges, regrets, or unresolved conflicts that weigh us down and cloud our thinking. He explains that holding on to these negative emotions only harms you, not the other person or situation. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or condoning. It means freeing yourself from the emotional burden so you can move forward with clarity and peace. A practical exercise he shares is the 3-step mental reset. Identify the thought or emotion that's bothering you. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, consciously choose to release it and redirect your focus to something constructive. Foroux also discusses the importance of cultivating patience. In a world that values instant results, patience is a rare but powerful skill. Many of the best things in life, whether it's building a career, improving relationships, or mastering a skill, take time. By embracing patience, you reduce unnecessary stress and create space for steady, meaningful progress. Finally, Foroux reminds readers that overcoming mental barriers is a lifelong process. New challenges and doubts will always arise, but with the tools and strategies he shares, you can face them with confidence. The key is persistence, committing to the journey of self-improvement, one step at a time. Part 7. Simplifying your life. In this chapter, Darius Foroux emphasizes the power of simplicity in achieving mental clarity. He explains that a cluttered life leads to a cluttered mind, making it difficult to think straight. Simplifying your life doesn't mean giving up everything. Rather, it's about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of distractions. Foroux begins by discussing the concept of decluttering your mind. Many of us carry unnecessary mental baggage, worries, to-do lists, and unfinished tasks that occupy our thoughts. To clear this mental clutter, he suggests practicing regular brain dumps. Simply take a few minutes each day to write down everything on your mind, from small tasks to big worries. This exercise not only frees up mental space, but also helps you organize your thoughts and prioritize what's important. He then moves on to simplifying your commitments. Foroux points out that many of us overcommit, saying yes to every request or opportunity that comes our way. This leads to stress, overwhelm, and a lack of focus. He urges readers to adopt a more intentional approach. Only commit to things that align with your values and goals. Learning to say no, he explains, is a powerful way to protect your time and energy. Another key area of focus is streamlining your environment. Foroux argues that your physical surroundings greatly impact your mental state. A cluttered workspace or home can create a sense of chaos and distract you from what matters. He advises readers to take time to organize and simplify their environment, keeping only the items that serve a purpose or bring joy. This doesn't mean striving for perfection, but creating a space that supports your goals and promotes peace of mind. Foroux also highlights the importance of simplifying your routines. Many people complicate their lives with overly elaborate plans or unrealistic schedules, which often leads to frustration and burnout. Instead, he advocates for simple, sustainable routines that are easy to follow. Whether it's your morning routine, workout plan, or work schedule, the goal is to create systems that reduce decision fatigue and make your day more efficient. In addition to routines, Foroux stresses the value of simplifying your priorities. He introduces the concept of the one thing, the single most important task or goal that deserves your focus each day. By concentrating your energy on this one thing, you can make meaningful progress without feeling overwhelmed by competing demands. A practical tip he shares is the 3-task rule. At the start of each day, identify your top 3 priorities and focus on completing those first. Everything else is secondary. This approach helps you stay focused, avoid distractions, and maintain a sense of accomplishment. Foroux also touches on the role of technology in creating mental clutter. While technology offers countless benefits, it can also be a major source of distraction and stress. He encourages readers to set boundaries with their devices, such as limiting screen time, turning off unnecessary notifications, and taking regular breaks from social media. These small changes can significantly improve your focus and mental clarity. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder: simplicity is not about doing less, it's about doing what matters. By eliminating the unnecessary and focusing on what's truly important, you can create a life that's not only more productive but also more fulfilling. Foroux encourages readers to embrace simplicity as a guiding principle, both in their thoughts and their actions. Part 8: Building a Framework for Better Decisions. Darius Foroux emphasizes that the quality of your decisions determines the quality of your life. In this section, he provides actionable insights into building a personal framework for making better decisions. This framework is designed to simplify the decision-making process, reduce stress, and help you stay aligned with your goals. He begins by addressing the problem of decision fatigue. Foroux explains that we make countless decisions every day, from what to eat for breakfast to how to respond to an email. This constant stream of choices can exhaust your mental energy, leading to poor decisions over time. The solution? Automate as many small decisions as possible. For example, create routines for recurring tasks like meal planning or choosing your work attire. By reducing the number of trivial decisions you make daily, you can preserve your mental energy for more important choices. Foroux then introduces the idea of clarity filters. These are personal guidelines or criteria that help you evaluate options and make decisions more efficiently. For instance, before committing to a new project, you might ask yourself, does this align with my long-term goals? Will this contribute to my personal growth? Is this the best use of my time and energy? By consistently applying these filters, you can avoid impulsive decisions and focus on what truly matters. Another key aspect of Foroux's framework is managing emotions. He explains that emotions can cloud your judgment, leading to reactive or irrational decisions. To counter this, Foroux advises taking a step back and giving yourself time to think. When faced with a high-stakes decision, pause and ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally or thinking logically? What are the potential long-term consequences of this choice? He also recommends practicing mindfulness and emotional awareness to improve your ability to recognize and regulate your feelings. Foroux then delves into the importance of gathering relevant information. While overthinking can lead to paralysis, making decisions without adequate information can result in poor outcomes. He encourages readers to strike a balance by doing enough research to feel confident in their choice, but not so much that they become stuck in analysis paralysis. To simplify complex decisions, Foroux introduces the concept of probabilistic thinking. This involves weighing the potential risks and rewards of each option and considering the likelihood of different outcomes. While you can't predict the future, this approach helps you make informed choices based on logic and reasoning. For everyday decisions, Foroux suggests using the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of choices that have the most significant impact on your life, and don't waste time agonizing over the other 80%. For example, choosing the right career path or relationship partner is far more important than deciding where to go for dinner. A unique insight in this chapter is the idea of reversible versus irreversible decisions. Foroux explains that many decisions feel weightier than they actually are. If a choice is reversible, meaning you can change your mind later, there's no need to overthink it. On the other hand, irreversible decisions require more careful consideration and planning. Recognizing the difference can save you time and mental energy. He also emphasizes the value of learning from past decisions. Every choice you make, whether successful or not, offers valuable lessons. By reflecting on your past decisions, you can identify patterns, avoid repeating mistakes, and refine your decision-making process over time. The chapter ends with a powerful takeaway. Better decisions lead to a better life. By automating trivial choices, applying clarity filters, managing emotions, and learning from experience, you can build a framework that supports clear thinking and purposeful action. Foroux encourages readers to view decision-making as a skill, one that can be improved with practice and intentionality. Part 9. Taking control of your life. In this chapter, Darius Foroux explores the empowering idea that clear thinking is the foundation for taking full control of your life. He asserts that living intentionally, making deliberate choices, and taking responsibility for your actions is the key to personal growth and fulfillment. Foroux begins by emphasizing the importance of personal accountability. He argues that blaming external circumstances, people, or luck for your problems is a trap. While external factors can influence your life, the way you respond to them is entirely within your control. Taking responsibility for your thoughts, actions, and outcomes is the first step toward reclaiming control over your life. Next, Foroux highlights the value of self-discipline. He explains that self-discipline is not about punishment or deprivation. It's about creating habits and routines that align with your goals. By staying consistent and committed to your priorities, you build momentum and increase your chances of success. Foroux suggests starting small, focus on one habit or goal at a time, and gradually build from there. The chapter also addresses the role of proactivity in creating the life you want. Proactive individuals don't wait for opportunities to come to them. They take initiative and create their own opportunities. Foroux encourages readers to identify areas where they can be more proactive, whether it's improving a skill, networking, or pursuing a passion project. Foroux delves into the concept of focus, describing it as the ultimate tool for controlling your life. In a world full of distractions, maintaining focus on your goals and priorities can feel like a superpower. He shares practical tips for enhancing focus, such as eliminating unnecessary distractions, setting clear intentions for your day, and using techniques like time blocking to structure your schedule. Another crucial element of control is resilience. Foroux explains that setbacks and challenges are inevitable, but your ability to bounce back from them determines your long-term success. Building resilience involves developing a growth mindset, staying flexible, and viewing obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow. Foroux also highlights the importance of continuous learning. To maintain control over your life, you must keep evolving. He encourages readers to adopt a mindset of curiosity and lifelong learning, whether through reading, experimenting, or seeking feedback. Every new skill or piece of knowledge adds to your toolkit for navigating life's challenges. Finally, Foroux touches on the idea of letting go of what you can't control. While it's important to take responsibility for your actions, it's equally important to recognize the limits of your influence. Worrying about things beyond your control only wastes mental energy and creates unnecessary stress. Instead, focus on what you can change and let go of the rest. The chapter concludes with an empowering message. You are the architect of your own life. By thinking clearly, taking responsibility, and staying focused on what matters, you can create a life that reflects your values and aspirations. Foroux challenges readers to embrace this responsibility with confidence and determination. Part 10. The importance of rest and recovery. In this chapter, Darius Foroux emphasizes an often overlooked component of clear thinking and productivity: the importance of rest and recovery. He argues that mental clarity and focus are not just the result of hard work and constant effort, but also of giving yourself the time to recharge and reset. Foroux begins by addressing the societal pressure to be constantly busy. In today's world, hustle culture often celebrates overwork, suggesting that the more you do, the more successful you'll be. However, Foroux challenges this notion, explaining that constant activity without rest can lead to burnout, reduced performance, and poor decision-making. He highlights the concept of mental fatigue. Just as our muscles need rest after physical exertion, our minds require downtime after periods of intense focus or stress. Foroux stresses that regular rest isn't a luxury, but a necessity for maintaining optimal cognitive function. He encourages readers to prioritize rest, not only for the sake of their well-being, but also to improve their thinking. Foroux introduces the idea of deliberate recovery. This means taking active steps to recover mentally and physically, rather than simply waiting for exhaustion to pass. He suggests activities like meditation, journaling, exercise, and even taking short breaks throughout the day to recharge. These small acts of self-care can have a profound impact on your energy levels and ability to think clearly. He also discusses the importance of sleep. Foroux emphasizes that sleep is one of the most powerful tools for mental clarity. Without adequate sleep, cognitive function declines, and decision-making becomes impaired. He advises readers to prioritize quality sleep and avoid the temptation to sacrifice rest in favor of productivity. Foroux goes on to explain how mindfulness and reflection play a vital role in recovery. Practicing mindfulness, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply being present in the moment, can help calm your mind, reduce stress, and improve clarity. Reflection, on the other hand, allows you to process your experiences and gain insights that can guide your next steps. Both practices contribute to emotional and mental well-being, which in turn supports clear thinking. Another key element of rest and recovery is setting boundaries. Foroux explains that in order to avoid mental burnout, it's important to create boundaries between work and personal life. This means knowing when to say no, disconnecting from work outside of business hours, and allowing yourself time to relax and recharge. Foroux also stresses the importance of nourishing your body. A healthy diet, regular exercise, and staying hydrated are fundamental to maintaining mental clarity. Physical health and mental health are closely connected, and taking care of your body supports your ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. The chapter concludes with a reminder that rest and recovery are essential, not just for our health, but for our success. Without the time and space to recharge, we cannot think straight, let alone perform at our best. Foroux encourages readers to make rest a priority, to take breaks when needed, and to cultivate a lifestyle that supports both productivity and well-being. Part 11. The Power of Consistency. In this chapter, Darius Foroux highlights the role of consistency in achieving success and maintaining clear thinking. He argues that the key to success is not talent, intelligence, or luck, but the ability to show up every day and do the work, no matter how small the steps may seem. Foroux emphasizes that consistent actions, compounded over time, lead to extraordinary results. Foroux begins by discussing how most people expect instant results. In a world of instant gratification, we often feel disheartened when we don't see immediate success. However, Foroux explains that real growth and progress take time, and consistency is the secret ingredient to achieving long-term goals. He introduces the concept of compound growth, where small, consistent efforts build upon each other over time. Just as investing small amounts of money regularly can lead to significant wealth, making small, consistent improvements every day can lead to remarkable personal growth. For example, reading just 10 pages of a book every day can add up to reading several books in a year. The key is making consistency a habit. Foroux also stresses the importance of staying disciplined even when motivation wanes. Motivation is fleeting and unreliable, but discipline helps you keep going when enthusiasm fades. He shares the concept of showing up, even on days when you don't feel like it. Whether it's a workout, a work task, or a personal project, the act of simply showing up and doing the work, even at a small scale, ensures that you're making progress. He also discusses the role of building momentum. Foroux explains that consistency creates momentum, which in turn makes it easier to keep moving forward. Once you build momentum, tasks that once seemed difficult or time-consuming become easier. This momentum boosts your confidence, making you more likely to continue your efforts. The chapter also covers the psychological aspect of consistency. Foroux highlights how consistent actions create a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. When you see progress, even small wins, it reinforces the belief that you're on the right path. This positive reinforcement encourages you to continue your efforts. Foroux also addresses the challenge of staying consistent when results aren't visible immediately. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see instant feedback, but Foroux reminds readers that consistency doesn't always lead to immediate rewards. Instead, the rewards come later, after the consistent actions have compounded over time. Patience is key. In this chapter, Foroux introduces the idea of tracking progress. By keeping track of your efforts and results, you gain clarity on what's working and what's not. For example, if you're trying to build a fitness routine, tracking your workouts and progress helps you stay motivated and see how far you've come. Tracking is a tool to reinforce consistency and remind you of the progress you've made. Finally, Foroux shares a powerful message. Consistency is a mindset. It's about deciding to commit to a process, trusting that small actions will lead to big results, and showing up every day, regardless of the circumstances. By embracing consistency as a guiding principle, you create a path to success that's sustainable and built on steady, manageable efforts. Part 12. Embracing simplicity. In this chapter, Darius Foroux delves into the transformative power of simplicity in life and thinking. He explains that one of the greatest challenges we face today is the tendency to overcomplicate everything, from our goals to our daily routines. Foroux argues that simplifying our approach to life can lead to greater clarity, efficiency, and fulfillment. Foroux begins by explaining that simplicity does not mean doing less, but doing what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions, unnecessary commitments, and information overload, simplifying helps us focus on what's most important. By removing the non-essential, we make room for the things that genuinely add value to our lives. He also addresses the paradox of choice. Foroux explains that having too many options can overwhelm us and lead to indecision or dissatisfaction. By simplifying choices, whether it's narrowing down your wardrobe, limiting your social media usage, or setting clear priorities, you reduce decision fatigue and increase your ability to focus on what matters. Foroux then explores the role of minimalism in thinking. Just as minimalism in material possessions promotes clarity and peace of mind, minimalism in thoughts and actions leads to better decision-making and clearer goals. He encourages readers to cut out the mental clutter by focusing on their core values and priorities. This doesn't mean abandoning creativity or spontaneity, but rather streamlining your approach to life's complexities. Foroux also emphasizes the importance of creating routines that simplify your day-to-day life. By establishing habits that support your goals, whether it's exercising in the morning, practicing mindfulness, or setting aside time for focused work, you can reduce mental overload and stay productive. Simple routines provide structure, helping you make the most of your time and energy. He introduces the idea of less is more. For example, when you prioritize fewer tasks but give them more attention and effort, you're more likely to succeed. Trying to juggle too many things at once can lead to burnout and diminished quality in each area. Foroux suggests focusing on a smaller number of important goals and pursuing them with dedication and clarity. Another key aspect of simplicity is saying no. Foroux emphasizes that our time and energy are limited, and in order to focus on what truly matters, we must learn to say no to things that don't align with our priorities. Whether it's rejecting social invitations, turning down projects at work, or avoiding distractions, saying no is a critical skill for simplifying your life. Foroux also explains the importance of decluttering, not just your physical space, but your mental space as well. He suggests taking time to declutter your thoughts, remove unnecessary commitments, and eliminate distractions. This will help you create mental space for clarity and allow you to focus on what truly drives you. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder. Simplicity is not about doing less for the sake of it, but about being intentional with your time, energy, and decisions. By focusing on what truly matters, letting go of distractions, and creating clear routines, you can unlock the power of simplicity and live a more fulfilling life. Foroux encourages readers to embrace simplicity as a lifestyle, one that leads to greater happiness, productivity, and peace of mind. Part 13. Letting go of perfectionism. In this chapter, Darius Foroux challenges the idea of perfectionism and its detrimental impact on clear thinking and progress. He argues that the pursuit of perfection often leads to inaction, stress, and self-doubt. Instead, Foroux encourages readers to adopt a mindset of imperfection, recognizing that mistakes and flaws are part of the learning process. Foroux begins by explaining how perfectionism can paralyze decision-making. People often hesitate to take action because they feel their work, ideas, or projects must be flawless before they can move forward. However, this mindset often leads to procrastination and missed opportunities. Foroux advises embracing progress over perfection. The key to success is not doing everything perfectly, but consistently improving and learning from your mistakes. He discusses the importance of embracing failure and reframing mistakes as learning experiences. Instead of fearing failure, Foroux encourages readers to see it as a necessary step in achieving success. Every mistake offers valuable feedback and insight, and by acknowledging that failure is part of the process, we can move forward more confidently. Foroux also highlights the role of self-compassion in overcoming perfectionism. He suggests that being kind to yourself, especially when you fall short of your own high standards, is essential for mental clarity and emotional well-being. Perfectionists are often their own harshest critics, and this negativity only hinders progress. By letting go of the need to be perfect, we free ourselves to take more risks, make mistakes, and ultimately grow. In conclusion, Foroux urges readers to shift their mindset away from perfection and toward progress. Instead of striving for flawless outcomes, focus on continuous improvement and learning. By doing so, you'll free yourself from the pressure of perfectionism and open up space for creativity, growth, and success. Part 14. The Role of Patience. In this chapter, Foroux highlights the essential role of patience in clear thinking and long-term success. He explains that patience is often overlooked in today's fast-paced world, but it's a critical factor in maintaining focus, making sound decisions, and achieving meaningful goals. Foroux begins by discussing how impatience often leads to poor decision-making. In our desire for instant gratification, we frequently make hasty choices without considering the long-term consequences. This can result in regrets, mistakes, and wasted time. Foroux encourages readers to cultivate patience, recognizing that the best outcomes often require time and sustained effort. He emphasizes the importance of delayed gratification, which is the ability to postpone short-term rewards in favor of long-term goals. Successful people understand that the road to achievement is often slow and gradual. They're willing to put in the work now for future benefits. Foroux shares the example of building a business or pursuing a career. Both require patience, persistence, and the willingness to wait for results. Foroux also addresses how patience is connected to mindfulness and acceptance. He explains that practicing patience involves being present in the moment and accepting the natural flow of time. Instead of rushing through tasks or experiences, we can enjoy the process and learn from each step along the way. This mindset fosters greater clarity and helps us make better decisions. The chapter also explores the role of perseverance in patience. Foroux explains that patience doesn't mean being passive. It means staying committed to your goals even when progress seems slow. It's about staying focused, maintaining effort, and trusting that consistent action will eventually pay off. Foroux concludes by reminding readers that patience is a key virtue in achieving long-term success. The world may offer quick fixes and shortcuts, but lasting fulfillment comes from patience, persistence, and staying the course. By embracing patience, we cultivate resilience and confidence, knowing that our efforts will bear fruit in time. Part 15. The Importance of Focus. In this chapter, Darius Foroux emphasizes the critical role of focus in achieving clarity of thought and success. He argues that in today's distraction-filled world, the ability to concentrate deeply on one task at a time is becoming a rare and valuable skill. Foroux explains that focus is not just about blocking out distractions, but also about dedicating mental energy to what truly matters. Foroux begins by discussing the impact of constant distractions on our cognitive function. Social media, emails, notifications, and even multitasking pull our attention in different directions, making it difficult to stay present and think clearly. He argues that constant switching between tasks reduces our productivity and diminishes our ability to think deeply. Foroux encourages readers to embrace single tasking, where they devote their full attention to one task at a time. He also introduces the concept of deep work, a state of focused concentration that allows individuals to produce high-quality results in less time. Deep work requires eliminating distractions and fully engaging in the task at hand. Foroux stresses that cultivating the ability to do deep work is essential for achieving excellence and making meaningful progress toward your goals. Foroux also highlights the importance of setting clear priorities in order to maintain focus. When we have a clear sense of what's most important, we can direct our energy and attention toward those priorities. Without clarity, we risk wasting time on trivial tasks that don't contribute to our long-term goals. He shares a practical tip for improving focus. Create distraction-free environments. Foroux recommends turning off notifications, setting specific times for checking emails, and creating physical spaces conducive to concentration. By intentionally designing our environment to minimize distractions, we create the conditions necessary for deep, focused work. The chapter concludes with a call to protect your focus at all costs. Foroux explains that your ability to focus is one of your most valuable assets, and you should guard it against distractions. Whether it's setting boundaries with others, practicing mindfulness, or organizing your workspace, maintaining focus is essential for both mental clarity and productivity. Part 16. The Power of Saying No. In this chapter, Darius Foroux explores the power of saying no and its profound impact on mental clarity and personal success. He explains that many people struggle with saying no, either due to guilt, fear of rejection, or the desire to please others. However, Foroux argues that learning to say no is essential for maintaining focus, setting boundaries, and protecting your time. Foroux begins by discussing how saying yes to too many things can lead to overwhelm and burnout. By constantly agreeing to other people's demands, we stretch ourselves too thin and lose the ability to focus on our own priorities. He explains that by saying no, we regain control over our time and energy. Saying no is an act of self-respect and a way to ensure that our time is spent on what truly matters. He highlights the importance of setting boundaries. Saying no allows us to establish clear boundaries with others, whether it's in work, relationships, or social situations. Without boundaries, we risk being pulled in multiple directions, leading to stress and burnout. Foroux stresses that boundaries aren't just about saying no to others, but also about saying no to ourselves, such as resisting the temptation to procrastinate or engage in distractions. Foroux also explains that saying no doesn't have to be confrontational. It's possible to decline politely and respectfully without feeling guilty or apologetic. He suggests using phrases like, "I don't have the bandwidth right now," or "I'm focusing on something else," to set boundaries without causing offense. The key is to be clear and firm while maintaining a sense of respect for others. The chapter also covers the psychological benefits of saying no. Foroux explains that when we say no to things that don't align with our values or goals, we create space for the things that matter most. Saying no gives us the freedom to focus on what we truly care about and helps us prioritize our well-being. In conclusion, Foroux encourages readers to embrace the power of saying no. By setting boundaries and being intentional with our time and energy, we can protect our mental clarity, reduce stress, and achieve greater success. Saying no is not a rejection of others, but a commitment to ourselves and our priorities. Part 17. The Value of Self-Reflection. In this chapter, Darius Foroux underscores the importance of self-reflection for improving mental clarity and decision-making. He explains that without taking the time to pause, reflect, and analyze our actions, thoughts, and behaviors, we miss valuable opportunities for growth. Self-reflection helps us understand our motivations, identify areas for improvement, and build stronger, more effective habits. Foroux begins by emphasizing that self-reflection is not about being overly critical or harsh on oneself, but about cultivating a habit of honest introspection. He encourages readers to set aside regular time for reflection, whether it's at the end of the day, week, or month. In these moments, we can assess what went well, what didn't, and what we can do differently moving forward. He discusses the power of journaling as a tool for reflection. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences allows you to process and organize your mind. Journaling helps you identify patterns in your behavior, recognize obstacles to your progress, and gain clarity on your goals. Foroux suggests that journaling is an effective way to track your growth and keep yourself accountable. Foroux also highlights the role of questioning assumptions in self-reflection. We often operate on autopilot, guided by beliefs and habits that we've never questioned. By reflecting on our assumptions, we open ourselves up to new perspectives and better decision-making. For example, questioning whether certain habits are still serving us or whether they're holding us back can lead to breakthroughs. The chapter concludes by reinforcing that self-reflection is a continuous process. It's not something you do once and forget about. It's an ongoing practice that helps you stay aligned with your values and goals. By reflecting on your actions and decisions, you gain clarity, improve your thinking, and ultimately lead a more intentional and fulfilled life. Part 18. The Importance of Action. In the final chapter of Think Straight, Darius Foroux focuses on the importance of taking action. He emphasizes that while clarity of thought is essential, it is ultimately action that brings results. No matter how well we plan, think, or strategize, it's the steps we take that determine our success. Foroux begins by addressing the tendency to overthink. Many people get stuck in a cycle of planning, analyzing, and perfecting, never actually taking the first step. Foroux warns that overthinking can be paralyzing and prevents us from making progress. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or perfect plan, he advocates for taking imperfect action. Starting, even with small steps, is far more valuable than staying in a state of analysis paralysis. He also stresses the importance of being adaptable in our actions. The journey toward our goals is rarely linear, and unexpected obstacles are inevitable. Foroux explains that success often requires adjusting our approach as we move forward, and that taking action enables us to learn, adjust, and improve along the way. Foroux highlights the concept of iteration, the idea that success is often a result of trying, failing, learning, and trying again. Taking action doesn't mean you'll always get it right the first time, but each attempt brings valuable lessons. The key is to keep taking steps forward, learning from mistakes, and making necessary adjustments. He also emphasizes the importance of consistency in action. Like the previous chapter on consistency, Foroux reminds readers that success comes from consistently taking action, even when the results aren't immediate. Small, consistent efforts compounded over time lead to big outcomes. Finally, Foroux concludes by reminding us that action is the bridge between thoughts and results. Without action, even the clearest thinking and best plans are worthless. The key to success is to think clearly, take consistent action, and remain adaptable to the changes along the way. A summary of Think Straight valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging audiobook summaries. Let us know your favorite takeaway in the comments below. See you in the next video.